Hi, welcome back. How about a book where your villain is your primary protagonist? Yes, the whole book, even on some levels kind of humorous, is from his point of view. Who is he and what book are we talking about? Well, we're talking about Never Coming Home by Hannah Mary McKinnon. Who is this villain that takes center stage in this book? The villain is Lucas Forrester. Yes, indeed. He wanted the millions that his wife had. The only way he was going to get them is if she was dead. So, how's she going to die? He's going to put a hit out on her. Okay? Now, let's talk about this. How do you hate somebody who's bad, but think somebody is funny and rather enjoy them in a book? How do you read a point of view of somebody who has very nefarious motives and is rather crazy? You can even call him a psycho, but he has a sense of humor. I don't know that I've read a book like this. I have to really think hard. Have I ever read a book by a psycho would-be killer with a sense of humor? I don't think I have. I don't. I really don't. But guess what? I did in this book. Cover's up there somewhere, right or left, I'm not sure. Okay? Now, it's dark, okay? He has a really bad moral compass. You know, he's a bad guy. He wants his wife dead. He wants her millions. But he's got to fool the police. Okay, so let's lay the scene here. He puts a hit out on her. She disappears. He has to make it look like a kidnapping. Pardon me, I'm having coffee this morning. He has to act like a grieving husband. Okay? But he gets a note. It says 2 words on it. I know. As a matter of fact, when I was reading this book via Kindle text-to-speech, and I was cross-stitching at the time. And when those 2 words came up, I know, I stopped, rewound it, and played it again. And guess what? It gave me chills then, and it gives me chills right now. Yes. Somebody knew what he was up to. Okay? So, if he put a hit out on her, right? Could she have been kidnapped? Unlikely, right? So, if he put a hit out on her, but the police believe he's kidnapped and he's got to convince the police that he's kidnapped, guess what? You've got to come up with a ransom. Poor Lucas is so daggone selfish, he doesn't even want to give up any money for a ransom that might get lost. Because he wants it all. Yeah. Now, I don't think I've read anything by Hannah Mary McKinnon before, but if this is how she writes, I'm game. I'm going to be there. Because if Lucas doesn't get his millions, now, along the way, you know, his dad moves in. And his dad is a gambler, and he's a drunk. And he's not making Lucas's life any easier. Now, the wife, by the way, is an unseen character because of Lucas's nefarious, second time using that word, plans, okay? So, when you read a book, when you know who the bad guy is, now I have read many a book where I already know who the bad guy is or the killer is or whatever have you. But to read a book from his perspective gave this book a lot of pacing. Now, there were some shocking revelations in this book, okay? Now, were they predictable? I don't think so. Were they surprising? I do think so. Okay? Now, I'm going to go 4 stars with this book because, you know, I don't want to be somebody who loves a bad guy. But that's not the only reason. Okay? It's just that the dark humor seemed out of place if this woman, Michelle, was indeed dead. So, you know, you have to have some kind of moral compass. He didn't have a good moral compass. but I certainly hope I do. So, you know, I have to think about that. Then you have the ending, okay? The ending, especially the last paragraph, the last 2 paragraphs, kind of gives another reason to drop this book to 4 stars, okay? I'm holding my hand upside down. But it doesn't mean I didn't love the book. I did. I really, really did. And I think a lot of people will. As a matter of fact, I'm just curious. It won't be out for a minute because I'm doing this early. But so far, even though the book is not going to be out for a couple of weeks as of when I'm making this video, it already has 171 reviews on Goodreads at an average of 4.18 stars. So yeah, people love this book and you just might love it too. There you have it. Bye-bye.